No one saw this coming. One moment she was laughing on screen, keeping it real like only she could, and the next her name was trending alongside the word funeral. At just 44, Khadiyah Lewis, the unapologetic firestarter of love and hip-hop Atlanta, was suddenly gone. And this one hit differently because Khadiyah wasn't just another cast member. She was raw, real, and never filtered a single word. Now, everyone's scrambling for answers. At first, social media barely whispered, and the news crept in slowly. But within hours, Khadiyah was viral. Fans flooded timelines with her wildest scenes, her loudest laughs. The tributes came fast. Even her ex, Young Jock, wasted no time posting an emotional message that cut deep. This wasn't some scripted sob story. This was raw, uncut heartbreak. But here's where it gets eerie. There were no details, no why, no how, just silence. And when silence speaks louder than facts, you know folks are gonna start digging. Bloggers, insiders, and diehard fans dove straight into the mystery. That's when the whispers turned into full-blown theories. Some said Khadiyah was suffering behind the scenes, that what we saw on screen was a highlight reel, masking the real breakdown, that she was avoiding people laughing less and posting cryptic captions. If you've been watching Love and Hip Hop, you know she didn't enter quietly. She brought chaos, fights, flings, and emotional explosions. But off camera, that chaos didn't cut for ratings. It turned real, and it turned dark. Her inner circle started talking. They said behind that tough shell was a woman fighting hard battles, family mess, emotional strain, and deep mental health struggles. You wouldn't catch it at first glance, but if you paid close attention, the red flags were there. Word is, she had just started therapy. That alone says volumes. She was trying, reaching for a lifeline before it snapped. But in those last few days, she wasn't the same. Friends say something shifted, something heavy, ... And no one's saying what. There was a moment, something specific, that clearly raised alarms, but nobody's saying what it was, not publicly, anyway. And now, the way Love and Hip Hop handled everything is under serious fire, and rightfully so. Some folks are saying being on that show didn't help Khadiyah heal, it made things worse. People on set are speaking out, claiming the show thrived on chaos while pushing real-life pain into the background because it didn't make good TV. If true, that's a sick reality. Mental health isn't some B-plot twist, and if Khadiyah was crying out in ways no one caught, then it's on more than just one person. Fans are devastated and furious. Old clips of Khadiyah clapping back at toxic castmates and laughing that iconic laugh are all over timelines. But the mood's shifted. Now people are asking, why didn't anyone step in when it was clear something was off? Still, no answers. Real story? Just a huge hole where the truth should be. Love her or not, Khadiyah left an impression that's hard to shake. And now everyone's asking the same thing. What really happened in those last few days? Because the final stretch of her life, it wasn't loud, it wasn't explosive. It was ... off. She skipped appearances, bailed on events, and when she did post, it was strange. Captions like "some pain hides well" and "tired of pretending" slipped through, but fans brushed it off. Just another cryptic post until it wasn't. Now her friends are speaking up. One said she hadn't heard Khadiyah's real laugh in weeks, said she felt like a ghost there but not really. Another friend mentioned she started pulling away, canceling plans, cutting people off. When the loudest person in the room goes silent, it's never random. Whatever it was heavy. People close to her say one night, just before the end, Khadiyah had a really bad episode. So bad it became the only thing people could talk about. Everyone who knew her says it changed something. A shift. A breaking point. But nobody's giving details. Just that it was bad. Real bad. It got so bad, friends say, they started reaching out, calling, checking in, even showing up. But nobody's talking about what they found. It's all still murky. Maybe we'll never fully grasp what went down behind those closed doors. What do we know? Emergency services were dispatched to her home the night she passed. Outside, just sirens, panicked calls, and then silence. No crowd, no chaos. She was already gone before the news could even break. Her family said nothing. The streets had no answers, only a quiet that felt heavier than words. That silence opened the floodgates. Rumors swirled. Was it an accident, mental, health, or natural causes? No one knows. But when Young Jock posted his tribute, it hit differently. After all the ups and downs they shared, this felt personal. She was hard to understand, he wrote, but she was real, and real ones like her don't come often. He'd seen the side of Khadiyah that fans never caught, the loyal, protective, fierce version who loved hard and fought harder. People got emotional and then angry because the show, it never showed this version of her. The same woman who stood tall in every scene, who threw shade without flinching, was breaking behind the scenes. And somehow nobody caught it. Or maybe they just didn't want to. Word is, she begged producers for a break, for time, for help, but none of it came. Because in reality TV, pain makes great content, as long as it doesn't ruin the frame. You cry on camera, fight for a check, scream for airtime, and then you go home to face the wreckage alone. One ex-cast member said it best: "Some of us leave, some of us don't." That quote is haunting me now, because it applies far beyond just KD fans. Aren't just mourning, they're demanding answers, demanding change. All the Instagram tributes and throwback clips in the world won't bring her back. The question is, how did we let this happen? She had a big heart and a wild soul, and reality TV was never supposed to end like this. Viewers tune into Love and Hip Hop for chaos, scandals, and the occasional redemption arc, not obituaries. But this death shattered the whole fantasy. As McCoy put it, the moment the drama stopped being entertaining and started feeling heavy, people began to question what they'd really been watching. Was this all just trauma packaged as prime time? Or was it always meant to be just entertainment? And it wasn't just fans waking up. Producers, ex-cast members, even network staff. They had to confront the same machine that built KD up and possibly broke her down. Because when the cameras shut off, the same system that feasted on her lowest moments rarely offered a way out. That's the part folks are whispering now, and whispering louder. A few staffers finally spoke out, though anonymously. "We were told to push buttons when someone looked like they were spiraling." One said it was a storyline, not a red flag. That hit people hard, not just because KD lived it, but because it's a repeating pattern in this genre. Eventually, the production team dropped a statement. It was short, polished, and full of the usual thoughts and prayers. But for many fans and former cast alike, it felt like slapping a band-aid on a bullet wound. Some appreciated the words, others dragged them. "If y'all actually gave a damn, you would have seen this coming." One fan tweeted, "Mental health advocates didn't waste a second. They jumped in, using KD's passing as a stark reminder." Reality shows feed on breakdowns but almost never provide a safety net. The demand for mental health protections in reality TV exploded. These shows, critics argued, feed off stress, conflict, and emotional breakdowns, but never build safety nets for the people breaking down. In a blunt statement, Jake Watkins put it plainly: "You can't throw someone in a shark tank and then act surprised when they start bleeding." Fans agreed. The industry can't just film the damage and walk away. Hashtags like #ProtectRealityStars took off. #JusticeForKatie wasn't just a tribute, it was a protest. People wanted action, not condolences. The question started spreading fast. What are you doing right now to stop another KD from slipping through the cracks? Because, let's be real, if the system doesn't change, this will happen again. Viewers started demanding off-camera support, on-set mental health teams, and mandatory counseling. These weren't just angry tweets, they were calls for structural change. Some cast stayed quiet, probably protecting contracts, but others stood up and echoed the demands. One thing was crystal clear: KD's death cracked the foundation of reality TV wide open. This genre can't go back to business as usual without looking cold-blooded. Change isn't optional anymore. But while the internet dissects KD's life like it's just another storyline, her loved ones are grieving in silence. Her sister quietly posted a smiling photo. No caption, no drama, just a face full of light. And that said more than any headline ever could. Behind the viral clips and messy edits was a real human. A mom, a daughter, a friend, who's now gone. And the official cause of death, still a mystery. Sometimes, silence is the loudest answer of all. But maybe that's the point. Maybe. This isn't just about what took KD, it's about everything that failed to protect her. The friends who missed the signs, the show that kept filming, the system that kept spinning, that's what really stings. Her death wasn't just a loss, it was a warning. Because behind every wild scene on reality TV, there's a real person trying not to break. And KD. She brought rawness, truth, and fire to the screen until it consumed her.